YouTube, comment ça va et bienvenue sur cette nouvelle vidéo sur Stanley Parabole Ultra Deluxe, je sais pas quoi. Alors ce jeu, tout le monde m'en parle, tout le monde me casse les couilles avec ce jeu. J'ai mes potes qui me disent Statiix tente ça, Statiix tente ça, il va te plaire, il va te plaire. Alors, je n'ai aucune idée de ce que c'est comme jeu.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. He gained his senses. He got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
D'accord. Alors, du coup, ce que je disais, c'est que... Oh putain, c'est trop lent avec la manette. Je reviens, 2 spi. Voilà, les paramètres sont réglés. Donc, je disais, le jeu a été créé déjà en 2011. Beaucoup de personnes y ont joué. Et pas moi. Et je sais vraiment pas... je n'ai pas voulu...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok, donc je dois aller à la salle de réunion. Donc je disais encore une fois, ce qui fait que me couper ce mec, que je n'ai pas voulu voir le trailer parce que ça allait me spoiler.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Et pour pas me spoiler, et du coup là je suis en train de découvrir. Alors, apparemment, je ne peux... Ok, les portes sont fermées, j'appuie sur X pour ouvrir. 426, non. 425, non. Ah, il y a une autre porte 4B6 là-bas, ok. Bref, la salle de réunion. La salle de réunion, la salle de réunion. Zabi, toutes les portes sont fermées. Ok, en fait, je suis guidé. Je peux pas aller autre part. Là, il y a 2...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
D'accord, donc là, il est en train de me dire d'aller à gauche. Et si je vais à droite, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Alors, Statiix, décide-toi. Est-ce qu'on suit le gouvernement et la dictature? Ou bien on est libre de nos choix? Je vais à droite.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ok, il se fout de ma gueule.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Tu peux pas...
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
On peut pas faire comme sur Half-Life, récupérer une boisson du distributeur. Alors.
Yes, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ok, donc là je vais suivre ce qu'on me dit.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ok, mais si je redescends là-bas, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Non, je vais à la salle de réunion pour voir ce que ça fait.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ok, donc le bureau de mon patron. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Comment résoudre une dispute entre employés. Broom. Ah, ça s'ouvre.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
Oui, je
so
sais,
he turned
merci.
around and got back on track.
Ok, je me fais guider par cette voix en fait.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Joli le bureau de mon patron. Y'a quoi là? On va dire juste une. Nique ta mère, voilà. Alors, ça s'ouvre? Non. Tac, 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 c'est joli le bureau, j'aime bien. Fermé. Par où je suis venu, Zabi? Je suis venu par là-bas? Ouais, elle s'est fermée la porte. Alors.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked,
Okay.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2847,
But of
Statiix.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845, Statiix, tu dois t'en rappeler. Alors, il a dit derrière le bureau. Je suis derrière le bureau, mais je ne vois aucun... J'ai vu les bouteilles d'alcool, oui. Ah.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ok, là je commence à avoir peur, rassurez-moi, c'est pas un jeu d'horreur. Et la vie de ma mère, les gars. Non, si c'est un jeu d'horreur, faut me prévenir, les gars.
Unanswered for long.
Elle a pété. Alors...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control Facility. Escape. Est-ce qu'on s'échappe du building ou est-ce qu'on rentre pour découvrir la suite? Ça doit être un piège. Vas-y, je suis curieux. Mais si je vois que c'est chaud, je me taille d'ici. Pourquoi c'est sombre comme ça?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
J'espère que vous arrivez à lire en dessous parce qu'en fait j'ai mis le jeu en français mais le mec qui parle il parle uniquement en anglais donc j'essaie d'agrandir les sous-titres mais j'espère que...
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Whoa.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
Putain.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Frère, c'est quoi ce délire?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Bah comme il est en train de me faire en fait actuellement là, il me dit où aller?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the
Voilà,
world?
ça s'arrête. Voilà, ça s'arrête. Parce qu'on est arrivé.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Ok, donc en
For
fait,
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
il se fait contrôler depuis le début jusqu'à la fin. Je peux pas appuyer sur le numéro 5. Ok, de suite, on vérifie d'abord ce qu'il y a ici et on va aller là-bas. Alors, il y a un gros bouton rouge. Non, ça ne marche pas. C'est quoi ça? Ça marche pas? Est-ce que ça s'ouvre ça? Non. Bon, et ben on continue tout droit. What is this?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Bah non, je veux savoir ce que c'est. Je vais allumer.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Si.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
D'accord.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
D'accord.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How
no.
long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Non, frère.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
Mais ferme ta gueule!
What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Non.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Okay.
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
Zippy.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Exactement.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
Putain.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered
Oh,
buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Oui, ça,
You're
j'ai
only
compris,
still
merci.
playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
Non.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Je trouve pas le numéro 5.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Goodbye,
That's
employee
30
4-5.
seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Non, ça va
No
péter.
ending. Just you being blown to pieces.
Je trouve pas
Will
le
you
numéro
cling
5.
desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me. All a
Putain, il
part
parle
of the
beaucoup,
joke.
il parle beaucoup,
And
il parle
believe me,
beaucoup.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say,
Je suis mort.
"You're up."
Frère, je suis revenu au point A. Bon.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh non, il va
What
répéter
could it
ça.
mean?